LeBron had 37 points and 8 assists in 40 minutes. The Clippers are in action tonight at San Antonio. They get their first look at rookie sensation Victor Wembanyama. The Rams got a break. Seattle kicker Jason Myers missed a 55-yard field goal with 3 seconds left. The miss allowed the Rams to hold on for a 1-point win. The Rams are 3-1 in the NFC West. More tough times for the Chargers. They had a 4-point lead at Green Bay with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, but couldn't hold it. They lose by 3. The Chargers gave up 322 passing yards. Chargers coach Brandon Staley was beefing with reporters after the game because they asked him about his struggling defense. I would have been asking the same thing. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours, now through December 20th. All of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net, and together we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
There will be no love that's dying here. The bird that flew in through my window simply lost his way. He broke his wings, I helped him heal, and then he flew away. Well, the death of love is everywhere, but I won't let it be. There will be no love that's dying here for me. No, there will be no love that's dying for me. There will be no love that's dying for you and me. Oh, there will be no love dying here. No, not for me. There will be no love that's dying here. No, there will be no love that's dying here. No, 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 no. There will be no love dying for me.
That song has been in my playlist since he first dropped it, and it has never fallen out or off of my playlist. Class, elegance, sophistication. I love me some Gregory Porter, and everybody knows that. I always feel blessed when he and I have the chance to reconnect once again. He has just released his first ever Christmas album titled Christmas Wish, and we're going to play a few tracks for you as we move through this hour. And as usual, I suspect, we'll have a deep dialogue about music and life. And now that Gregory Porter joins us for the hour. Gregory Porter, I love you. There ain't nothing you can do about it, man.
Oh, man, you always catch me with something that my grandmother would say.
You doing all right, man? You doing all right?
I'm doing all right, man. Thank you.
No, it's good to hear your voice again. I'm glad that we get a chance. I feel blessed, as I said, every time we get a chance to connect like this, whether publicly or privately. This one, of course, is public, but I'm excited about the conversation once again. And the Christmas album is amazing. We're going to play a bunch of stuff from that as we move through this hour and just do what we do. Let me just start by saying this. I was looking last night, as I am now, in fact, at your tour schedule. And man, you are still on the move like you just came out. I mean, everybody knows you, everybody loves you. You know you ain't got to work this hard, man. You're a star now, brother. You are a star, and you still touring like you just came out. I'm looking at your December schedule. This Negro is going to be in Germany in Lithuania, in the UK, in Estonia. I mean, you like I said, you're all over the globe. This is a long way.
Don't forget Detroit.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, you got New Orleans, you got Atlanta, you got Detroit, you got DC. I'll put it all out there as we move through the hour. But I was laughing because I know, of course, of your humble beginnings, given our friendship and conversations over the years. But this is a long way. I say this lovingly and respectfully. But I want to just get your take on it. What you're doing now, literally in places like Lithuania and Estonia, that's a long way from Bakersfield, Greg Reporter.
It is a long way from Bakersfield. I remember saying and wondering where my soil was, and where I was supposed to be, and where my voice was supposed to be. Where could it be heard? Where could it grow? And just God let me know that it should be everywhere, because I kind of am. I do travel everywhere now, and there is. When I show up, somehow there's 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 people, and so there's a place for me, and I'm thankful for it. Yeah.
How do you process all that? Because I recall when you first came out, NPR, and as did others, basically declared you America's next great jazz singer, and that has worked out to be true. What's it like, again, coming from Bakersfield, California, out in the middle of nowhere, and popping up into Lithuania and Germany and Estonia and the UK, and have thousands of people there to see you as one who is the ambassador, essentially, of this art form that we created that sadly many of us don't embrace. I mean us, you know what I'm talking about, of course. Many of us don't embrace in the way that we should. What's that like, being the ambassador for us, if you will?
Well, it's quite frankly, there is a responsibility, because there's so many masters of the music that came before me that did the same thing. Not only carrying the banner of Black American music, but just the intelligence and dignity of Black people. That is something that I do carry with me. It's not lost on me when I go to places where Black Americans or Black people don't exist so much, because there are some places on the earth where it's like that. Many times I'm the first Black person somebody has seen, somebody in their teen years. And so I'm thoughtful about that. Yeah. What message am I putting out? What am I saying? Who am I? And so, there is some responsibility, but there's also been some footprints and a roadmap laid down by Louis Armstrong. We could go on and on. The masters of the music have laid Nat King Cole, and so I step in those footsteps, but I also allow some light that's been given to me, something by my mother, something by my experience. Yeah. I put that out there as well. But it is a responsibility. Well, I'm aware of it. Yeah.
No, it is a responsibility, and I'm glad you're aware of it. Not everybody is. I want to probe that a little bit more when we come forward. As I said, whenever Greg and I get together, there's always a deep conversation about life, and then we'll get to the music, of course. We're going to play here now one of the tracks from his new Christmas project, and we'll play a number of them. It's called Christmas Wish, out now, and we'll play a few of these songs as we move through the hour. But I want to come back to this notion of what it means to represent the intelligence and dignity of Black people on a world stage. You're listening to Greg Reporter on Tavis Smiley.
But everything's not lost. 'Cause Christmas and New Year is coming on strong. Everything's not lost. 'Cause Christmas and New Year is coming on strong. Everything is not lost. 'Cause Christmas and New Year is coming on strong. Good times of comfort and joy.
Seeking the truth Speaking the truth. This is the Tavis Smiley Show.
Escalade IQ. This the intro to the all-electric Cadillac, perfected like Zoom. And on a full charge, you get 450 miles without the stop. Haiku. This is what I do. Daddy fat intellect since 92. Linked all the way back, panoramic roof. Come with 24-inch rim standard. Ooh, why? Shawty don't kill him. Cadillac diamond in the back, cold chillin'. And when I'm on attack, on the track is no ceiling. Sky's the limit. You hear me? Straight drop, no parachutes. Lay lines like a longitude and latitude. Deal it, beloved, clearly we're hustling. Bustin', truckin'. Cadillac.
For more on the Escalade IQ, visit Cadillac.com.
Available late 2024. GM estimate 450 mile range. On a full charge based on development testing and/or analytical projection. Consistent with SCHA 1634 revision 2017 MCT. Range subject to change prior to production. Annual rates may vary based on service factors, including ambience temperature, terrain, battery age, and condition loading, and how you use and maintain your vehicle.
The City of Los Angeles Civil Rights Department and its LA Repair Participatory Budgeting Program invite nonprofit organizations to submit proposals to turn community ideas into reality. More than $5.4 million is available to make a difference in the Arleta, Pacoima, Westlake, Skid Row, South LA, Leimert Park, and Harbor areas. Don't wait. Proposals are due on November 29th at noon. To apply, visit repair.lacity.gov. LA Repair gives people real power over real money. Visit repair.lacity.gov.
King C. Gillette knows you're dedicated to your barbershop routine, but how do you maintain the beard hair you already have? The King C. Gillette Beard Thickener helps to reduce patchiness and strengthens hair's resilience to breakage. Apply the King C. Gillette Beard Thickener daily to see a thicker and fuller beard in just 14 days. It's highly scented with King C. Gillette's signature scent. Just trim, wash, and soften. With King C. Gillette.
Don't miss Provember at Lowe's. Save $80 on a DeWalt combo kit and save $20 on a 5-gallon pail of HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams All-Purpose Power Primer. Plus, MVP's members earn 3 times the bonus points on DeWalt and HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams products. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. While supplies last, selection varies by location. Bonus points calculated before tax and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 11/22, subject to change.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right?
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Ooh, pass me the intercom thingy.
Attention shoppers. If you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Don't pay for water, pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods.
Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Ready to re-examine your assumptions and expand your inventory of ideas? More of Tavis Smiley coming your way right now.
Someday at Christmas, men won't be boys, playing with bombs like kids play with toys. One warm December, our hearts will see a world where men are free. Someday at Christmas, there'll be no wars, when we have learned what Christmas is for. When we have found what life's really worth, there'll be peace on earth.
His name is Gregory Porter. Of course, you know that. That voice, those song stylings are so distinctive. Whenever you hear him, you know you're listening to the brilliance of Gregory Porter. It's his first ever Christmas album. It's called Christmas Wish. It is out right now. There are 3, a trio in fact, of new self-penned songs. Christmas Wish, Heart for Christmas, and the one we played going to the break, which I love. It's called Everything's Not Lost. It's an elegant piano ballad that is Gregory's persuasive plea to remember those who are less fortunate than ourselves, which leads me to ask this question, Gregory Porter. I don't know that you've done a project that certainly, I have all your stuff. I don't know that you've done a project where on the project there isn't some opportunity that you take, not to proselytize, because I don't think artists need to be in the proselytization business, not to proselytize or to preach, but to remind us from whence you came. and to remind us what really matters to you, even as you do your art. I'm thinking of Liquid Spirit. I'm thinking I'm talking about tracks now. I'm talking about Take Me to the Alley, and this new one that I love on this Christmas album, Everything's Not Lost. You just can't divorce yourself from reminding us about what really matters to you, and frankly, what ought to matter to us. Can you?
Yeah, again, I'm not trying to be preachy, but outside of the commercialism and the pomp and circumstance and ritual that Christmas can be, there's also just that thing of looking outside of yourself and checking on somebody else to see who else is suffering, who else needs something to eat, or some safety, or some, that's the kind of thing. And it's that time of year. It's that reset time of year. It's like, what can we do to make things better? So for me, yes, I can't help but do that. When I have people's ear, I was like, okay, let me put some nutrition in this as well.
There you go.
But also for me, just balance. Coming out of COVID, coming out of just crazy time, I just wanted to have balance. Yes, I love those Christmas songs that are a total escapism and just like all about fantasy and sleigh bells and slipping through snow and dreams and champagne, all that. I love that. And I'm about that. But also the true meaning of Christmas. I mean, that there's also the conditions of other people. And many of the songs that we sing at Christmas are about peace in a time where there is no peace. And so if that's the case, we have to say something about it, So I think that's part of the story. So it's well balanced. I think there's an emotional balance on this record. There are songs of joy and the traditional messages of Christmas. But again, everything's not lost. The first lyric on Everything's Not Lost is, help me just to pass this test of time. I wish that I was blind. So I have to be careful with that lyric. I can't help but see all this misery. Okay, right. Everybody knows what I'm talking about if I want to say something like that. And so, but then I say, what? Everything's not lost, because Christmas and New Year's is coming on strong. And we know what that means. That's like, this is a pause. This is a time to reflect. This is the time to okay, what can we do that's better? Even in many of the major wars that we've had in history, at Christmas and maybe at New Year's, there may be a pause. If it be but for a few hours, there's a pause in violence. And so that's what I'm thinking of.
You said a mouthful just there, and there are 3 or 4 things I want to interrogate. I'll do that in just a second. Let me start with this, though. For those who have not heard your backstory, you just laid out your modus operandi when it comes to the stuff you write and the way you perform and putting some nutrition in our ear, as you put it. But you got that honest. You got that from your mother. Just say a quick word about your mother for those who don't understand the link between you and your mom, what she passed on to you, frankly.
Yeah, well, she was a preacher. She was a missionary and evangelist in Church of God in Christ. And we often had small churches, and I was her lead soloist. She had eight children, 5 boys and 3 girls. So the thing as a family. But when it came for that A and B selection, she would pull me out of the pews to deliver it. But she was a person who fed the hungry, clothed people, befriended prostitutes, and drug dealers and drug abusers. She was fearless in this way. She would go to the difficult place. That's what Take Me to the Alley is about. She would go to the difficult place, a place that needed some light and elevation. And so, I was there with her. And, so many of my my songs that deal with kind of some social things come from that perspective, or coming from some understanding of those people who are, by the way, our brothers and sisters, without questions.
Which leads me directly to this point that I wanted to get to moments ago. And again, I still want to unpack a few other things that you referenced. But This notion that you raised earlier of representing the intelligence and dignity of black people. It's a tough time in the world for a lot of people, not just in the Middle East, but in this country and around the globe. A tough time for all of us. We are into the holiday season, and yet this issue persists of the humanity and dignity of black people not being regarded and not being respected. So unpack for me what you meant by the responsibility you feel you have to represent the intelligence and dignity of black people.
Mm-hmm. I think I mean, if you just go to, what media says who we are over the years, people have a skewed vision of who black people are. It's just, there's a confused vision. I mean, listen, I talked about balance earlier, but it's really about balance. I love hip hop. I even love some of the harder stuff. But if there's not balance, I love party songs. But if there's not balance, then there's this confused idea that all we are is gangster rap. All we are is the worst of it. All we are is talk about drugs. All we do is talk about how big the ass is or how juicy the whatever it is. So I love musical expression for every moment under the sun, but there has to be this other thing that something that grandma can listen to, something that can bring your young cousins to listen to as well. That there has to be that as well. There has to be this balance where maybe this is a music that grandma, the mama, and the kids can listen to. And so I think about that, and I think about, when I carry that message to other parts of the world, sometimes I get to the window for immigration, and I say I'm a musician and I'm here to do a few concerts, and immediately, sometimes more so early on when they didn't know who I was, they were like, "Oh, you come to hip hop, rap," and I was,
not exactly.
Particularly in Eastern Europe. The only thing on television at the time was the only black people on TV in Russia was the Flavor of Love or the Love
Flavor.
Listen, I love him, but that was the only representation. So they was like, okay, where's your gold teeth? Where's your? I was like, dang, y'all not gonna let me in this place. Yeah. But anyway, my point is just, just some of the things that my mother gave me about just the humanity of black people, the full faceted humanity of black people, and that and all and everything that the subtlety, the gentleness, the quietness, yet the strength, the rage.
Yes,
we are all of the things that every other human is allowed to have, and so I think about that when I step to the stage in a tuxedo. Sometimes I feel like I don't have to oversing. I don't have to dance. I don't have to, I'm going to just be me, and that will be sufficient. Let's see what happens. And 10 years of sold out shows all over the world.
No,
I think I could be me. There's more than one way to do this.
No, I receive that, man. I receive it. Somebody once said that when and where I enter, the whole race enters with me, whether you like it or not. When and where I enter, the whole race enters with me. So it's incumbent upon all of us, I think, to always do our best to represent the intelligence and dignity of black people. And I started by referring to you as a class act, one who's elegant and sophisticated, and that never changes when people see you on the stage. It's a beautiful thing, and I celebrate it. I must admit, though, when you mentioned Flavor Flav, I ain't gonna lie, it was a guilty pleasure. I watched it. I watched Flavor of Love.
Me too. Me too.
It was a guilty pleasure, man.
Listen, I love it. No, I love it. I love it. I love that aspect. But all I'm talking about that's all they had.
No, I got you.
know what
I
mean?
got you.
You know?
Yeah, I met, Flav and I've hung out a few times over the course of my career. And I used to tease this, and man, I don't know how you do it, Flav, but you pulling them on that show, man. You pulling them. I don't know how you do it with the teeth. And anyway, I digress, but it was a guilty pleasure for me when it was on. I want to talk about covers, because you got a trio of new self-penned songs in there. As I mentioned, Christmas Wish, Hard for Christmas, Everything's Not Lost. You obviously covering a lot of the old standards, but you pulled two out that I particularly love, and I'm raising this only because I literally, she had a health scare recently, and I here while she was visiting in L.A., so she's still here, and I went what's today, Tuesday. I went Sunday to spend some time with Nadine McKenna. Nadine McKenna is the sister who wrote the song for Donny Hathaway, the Christmas classic that we all love. This Christmas, she wrote that song. Tried to get it to Curtis Mayfield, and she couldn't, but she got it to a guy named Donny Hathaway, and the rest, as they say, is history. And so I love This Christmas. It ain't Christmas to me till I hear that. But I love how artists choose to do certain covers when they put their Christmas project out. We played a bit earlier of Someday at Christmas. We all know that's Stevie's. Everybody knows Stevie's classic Someday at Christmas, and you acquitted yourself quite nicely, I might add, on Someday at Christmas. But I love this one too from Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
Drifting on air without a care. Cover the ground without a sound. As sure as snowflakes fall from the blue, I will always remember this night here with you.
So that's Marvin's version of Purple Snowflakes. We're gonna get yours on in just a second, but give me a sense of why you wanted to cover that one, Greg Reporter.
I think it's interesting. It's funny as an artist, you have to think about like the cultural significance of songs before you approach them. I think there's also backstory. Whenever you touch anything from Marvin Gaye, there's backstory. Mm-hmm. And I love Marvin's social protest backstory. Now I sing a song like Purple Snowflakes, and there's nothing there that says fish full of mercury or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But it's in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I just, in that respect, also just wanting to have, like Donny Hathaway's song is, the soulful Christmas message.
Let me give the audience some of your version of Purple Snowflakes, Greg Reporter.
Sure as snowflakes fall from the moon, I will always remember this night with you. Snowflakes, pretty little snowflakes, snowflakes, pretty purple snowflakes.
Hope, agency, dignity. This is Tavis Smiley.
Can you dig it? Come on!
What's up, party people? It's your favorite MC's favorite rapper, MC Light here. And we're celebrating 50 years of hip-hop, authentically powered by Cadillac. And we're going to take it way back to where it started. It was only fitting that hip-hop began with teenagers at a back-to-school jam in the rec room of a South Bronx apartment complex by an 18-year-old brother. By the way, I'm also sure he had a Cadillac parked outside. He noticed the energy on the dance floor when he switched between two turntables, extending the beats, repeating the breaks, and never losing the rhythms. And that was the birth of hip-hop. And from that moment, it took off.
For more on how Cadillac is celebrating hip-hop's 50th, visit Cadillac.com/audacity.
I'm Mike Moore. Now, here's the latest from the Black Information Network. A red wave has washed over the state of Louisiana. Republican candidates won a series of runoff elections over the weekend for Attorney General, Secretary of State, and Treasurer. Those wins are on top of a GOP landslide in the general election put together. It means in January there will be one party in control of the executive branch, the House and Senate. New York City Mayor Eric Adams is setting up a legal defense fund in response to the corruption investigation into his 2021 campaign fund. According to an affidavit the African-American mayor signed last week, the fund will be overseen by the city's Conflict of Interest Board as the FBI looks into Adams's campaign finances, favors, and possible influence by the Turkish government. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Drought, war, and rising food prices have doubled the number of families facing malnutrition. You can help. $50 provides a food kit to feed a family for a month. Just text the word radio to 97646.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. Visit jpmorganchase.com/racial equity and get the tools to help reach your financial goals.
Is this the tackle? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
I'm a bad man. LeBron sank a free throw with 1.9 seconds left to help the Lakers beat Houston by 1 at Crypto.com. LeBron had 37 points and 8 assists in 40 minutes. The Clippers are in action tonight at San Antonio. They get their first look at rookie sensation Victor Wembanyama. The Rams got a break. Seattle kicker Jason Myers missed a 55-yard field goal with 3 seconds left. The miss allowed the Rams to hold on for a 1-point win. The Rams are 3-1 in the NFC West. More tough times for the Chargers. They had a 4-point lead at Green Bay with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, but couldn't hold it. They lose by 3. The Chargers gave up 322 passing yards. Chargers coach Brandon Staley was beefing with reporters after the game because they asked him about his struggling defense. I would have been asking the same thing. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Want to save big on custom faux wood blinds, shutters, cellular shades, and more? Shop Blindster today and save up to 50% over comparable blinds from brick and mortar stores. Get custom blinds at low prices and free shipping at Blindster.com.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right. Y'all gotta try that Febreze car. Just right, just right, just right, yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency on low Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah, breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
Roll Charmin Ultra Strong when you drop in the beat. It cleans with way less effort on your seat. Yeah, roll it, drop it. Yeah, roll it, drop it. Charmin flows extra strong from the road. Your butt hella clean while you're sitting on the bowl. Yeah, it's all you need for that bathroom groove. Get you in and out without nothing to prove.
Charmin Ultra Strong cleans better so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Ask any former youth in foster care what they missed most while growing up, and they will most likely answer, someone to show me unconditional love. Now, isn't that something we all wished we could experience? Here in Los Angeles, up to 40% of homeless youth on our streets identify as LGBTQ+. The most prevalent reason for homelessness among this population is the rejection they've experienced from their own families. The LA County Department of Children and Family Services and Raise a Child are searching for safe, nurturing, and affirming foster parents within our community willing to stand up and serve all children and youth in foster care, especially LGBTQ youth. Learn the many benefits to becoming a foster parent. Attend a free Raise a Child virtual or in-person informational event to learn more. RSVP now at raiseachild.org. That's raiseachild.org. And thank you.
Oh, this cold.
Honey?
Honey?
Honey, you need DayQuil Severe Honey.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste, because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Now I'm getting a cold.
Honey.
Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe with honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Who do you trust to get at the truth? Tavis Smiley. That's who. The conversation continues right now.
Maybe it's much too early in the game. But I thought I'd ask you just the same. What are you doing New Year's? New Year's Eve.
Wonder whose arms will hold you good and tight when it's exactly 12 o'clock that night, welcoming in the new year, New Year's Eve.
Gregory Porter has done it again, as only Gregory Porter can do. His first ever Christmas album is called Christmas Wish. It is available wherever you get your music these days. He used the word balanced a couple times in this conversation. This is a very balanced project. There are covers on this project, Christmas Wish, including Marvin Gaye's Purple Snowflakes. We just played some of that for you. We played earlier Stevie Wonder's Someday at Christmas, and Gregory Porter puts his own sort of stank, his own sort of funk on it, on those covers. There are three self-penned songs on this Christmas Wish album: Christmas Wish, Heart for Christmas, and Everything's Not Lost, Love, 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 that track. Played some of that earlier for you. So there are three new songs he's written for this. So you got covers, you've got new songs, you've got classics, all kinds of classics. Do You Hear What I Hear? Silent Night, Little Drummer Boy, all kinds of classics on this. And the one you're listening to right now is a collaboration. And you can't do much better, trust me, than Gregory Porter and the best new artist of 2023 at the Grammys, Samara Joy. That's what you're listening to right now. What Are You Doing New Year's Eve, featuring Samara Joy. That's quite a combination, Gregory Porter.
Yes, she's amazing. She's amazing, just in a whole bunch of ways. I always talked about like the DNA of like the master voices of jazz. It didn't go anywhere. It's just not being utilized in jazz anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And the combination of the tradition and her sound is they're just connected, and she's just really, really amazing. She sounds like, a voice that's 50 years old,
Mm-hmm.
from 50 years ago, but completely new, totally fresh, totally innovative. So, really glad to be able to have her on the record as well.
Every time I hear her, I shouldn't start throwing names out, but I hear Sarah Vaughan every time I hear her, man. She just she puts something out there. So here's a question that one always asks whenever one is talking to one. In this case, one Gregory Porter, who has put out their first Christmas album. His is called Christmas Wish, again available wherever you get your music these days. But the question is always, how did you go about choosing the balance, to use your word once again, that is on this project? There's so many Christmas songs to choose from, and you have the nerve to write your own stuff, which we all love, of course. So how does one? I've asked this question of every artist, and there's always a different answer, as you might suspect. So I will ask you: how did Gregory Porter go about curating his Christmas Wish album?
With the things that touched me when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas is about nostalgia, And, I think listening to, before we decorated the tree, before the smell of sweet potato and yams, candied yam, and sweet potato pies and greens was in the air, mixing with the music, I heard the music of Nat King Cole, the Christmas song. I heard Mahalia Jackson, and Silent Night, and so I had to to put my own take on those things that fortified me at Christmas, and I again wanted to take some of the classics, some of that 60s, 70s soul, but also add the new songs, but also messaging. There's a humble message in many Christmas songs that I love to express. In Little Drummer Boy, Little Drummer Boy is questions as to whether his gift is good enough, is worthy of a king. And I say that it is. In some ways, I think I've been maybe performed for all the royalty around the world. Not all, but a lot of royalty around the world. And I remember asking myself that same question: is my gift worthy of royalty? And my mother said it was, so okay, then there you go.
How does one? I'm going to give the audience a little taste of Little Drummer Boy in just a second here, your version of it. But I'm fascinated by that question, and I know because I've seen you in performance. I'm thinking of Roy Albert Hall. So many places you've been, of course, performing for royalty. They love you, and they're always inviting you to perform. How does one wrestle with that question when one asks himself? How did Gregory Porter wrestle with the question of "Am I worthy? Am I worthy?"
Well, it's something that I have to say, in all honesty, I struggle with because, humility was like super important in my family, particularly on me as a child for some reason. And so it was a difficult thing to say that, this gift that I have, the king or the queen should sit down and listen to this. So it takes some understanding that in a way you're a vessel. If you feel like you're a vessel and something is coming from you is even higher than royalty.
Yes.
The highest.
That's it.
The highest.
That's it.
And so, well, I remember I was performing for some royalty, and then at the end of one of my songs is like they were like, by what authority do you render this royal decree when you sing "Take Me to the Alley"? And I said, well, with all respect that is due, Your Majesty. But there is a higher power.
Yeah, and we go into the alley. As we say in the black church, that'll preach. There is a higher power. And with all due respect, Your Majesty, we go into the alley tonight in this performance, so long as my name is Gregory Porter, and he stood in his truth. When we come forward, we'll give you a taste of his version of Little Drummer Boy. Gregory Porter has put out his first Christmas album. It's called Christmas Wish, and we're giving you a taste of it right now on Tavis Smiley.
What's your quarrel with the world? You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
What is dedication?
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that my kids wouldn't have a father. And I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. I definitely had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Joey from Vermont, a farmer trying to get through the winter. Adriana from South Carolina, a single mother living paycheck to paycheck. Liam from Ohio, an injured father struggling to provide for his family. Hi, I'm Shanola Hampton. And I support the Feeding America network of food banks because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
Environmental justice, pollution, and climate. In Los Angeles and across America, people of color are suffering and dying from disproportionate health impacts on a planet that has less than 10 years to prevent irreversible damage. Heat illnesses, respiratory illnesses, water-related illnesses, food system impacts, insect-related diseases, black maternal health, and mental health effects. As the impacts of climate change mount, millions of vulnerable people, our people, are going to bear the brunt of these extreme environmental events, which will likely lead to forced displacement, loss of cultural identity, and other related risks. These realities are as real as rain. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details about the most progressive multimedia and live events campaign any black media outlet has ever undertaken to combat the climate catastrophe. Experts, events, empowerment. It's all on the way from unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580. We don't black down. We level up.
Level up, 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 level up.
The $5 Cravings Box is back at Taco Bell, and it's the real thing. We're talking a Chalupa Supreme, a cheesy, beefy 5-layer burrito, a crunchy taco, cinnamon twist, and a medium drink, all for just $5. That's a lot of food for not a lot of dollars. In other words, a wise business deal, like greeting clients with a firm handshake and a delicious 3-course meal that's only $5. Order your $5 Cravings Box on the Taco Bell app today. At limited participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact local store for price and participation which vary. Drinks exclude freezes. Price excludes tax.
Smart talk for curious people just like you. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Come, they told me, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum, a newborn king to see, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum. Our finest gift we bring, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum, to lay before the king, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum, rum-pum-pum-pum, rum-pum-pum-pum. So to honor him, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum, when we come.
Gregory Porter's first ever Christmas album is out. It's entitled Christmas Wish. It is a loving tribute to his favorite time of the year. And it's a tribute to great songwriters and singers and interpreters, including, of course, Stevie Wonder, Ella Fitzgerald, Marvin Gaye, Dinah Washington, Nat King Cole, all those persons who have influenced him in the brilliant artistic genius that he has brought to the fore for all the rest of us to enjoy in his time. He's on the road a lot. Let that ride, Miles. Let it ride. Let me just give you some sense, since we're heard across the country, of where you can catch Gregory Porter in the days to come, that is, through the rest of this year. So if you're in Germany, he'll be there December 6th and 8th and 9th. If you're in Lithuania, he'll be there on December the 12th. If you're in London, okay, now we're getting warmer. If you're in London, he'll be there December 13th. If you want to go to London for any, want a good excuse to go to London during the holiday season, he'll be at Royal Albert Hall once again. In London on December the 13th. He's in Estonia on the 15th. Back in Germany on the 16th. He's moving around, but much closer to home. We are heard in New Orleans, and we love our affiliate in New Orleans. He'll be in New Orleans on December the 20th. Wake up, Nola. He's there on December the 20th. He's in Atlanta at the Fox Theater on December 21st. He is in the Big D at the Detroit Opera House on December 22nd. And he will bring in the new year at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. on December 31. Our remaining moments with Gregory Porter when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
interrogating and unpacking. That's what we do around here. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
My daughter was diagnosed with a rare malignant rhabdoid tumor on the spine. They sent her straight to St. Jude. My hope was gone. But when you get there, everyone's like, hey, we're not going to give up. And when you see other people not giving up on your child, that makes all the difference in the world. When I found out I didn't have to pay, I was just grateful. They saved my baby's life.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank. Any member FDIC.
Let's get back to more of Tavis Smiley right now.
Just a few minutes left with Gregory Porter before we get to the top of the hour and have to wrap this conversation, which I've enjoyed immensely, as I always do whenever Gregory and I get a chance to hang out. All right, Greg, I'll put you on the spot here. Tell me a funny story. The thing that I love about talking to friends like you who do Christmas albums is that you got to record this thing in the dead of summer for it to drop at holiday season. So what is it like? Now my mother, I always tell this story. My mother she's listening right now in Indiana, where I grew up in the Midwest. My mother loves Christmas music, and every time I feature a friend of mine with a new album out, she calls me and asks me to send her the album. So I'll be sending her the Gregory Porter album. That she can play in her house at Christmas. She has a nice Christmas collection. So she'll be playing it around the house. But here's the funny part. She'll be playing it next June because she loves Christmas music, and if she can get away with it, she plays it throughout the year. But that's different than having to record it at some strange time of the year. So what was it like being in the studio recording something that was going to come out many months later?
Well, I always give the vibe to my band. I talk about the scenarios that create some of the songs that I write. So, once you close the door of the studio, there's no sound. Once you're in the inner sanctum of the studio, there's really no windows.
Oh, yeah.
So, the lights are not there. You light some candles, and it turns into you tell a few Christmas stories about 8 children standing around a table, the mother cooking all this delicious food, turkey, greens, cornbread, and candied yams. We prayed over the food, and then she instructed us to load it in the car, and then we went and we gave the food away, most of it. The leftovers that were left, we brought back to the house, and we laid the leftovers after people who had no homes, people who were homeless, people who were hungry. We ate the leftovers. And so that was the first track that we worked on. In addition to that, I baked a sweet potato pie. The band had some of that. we was in the mood.
Yeah,
I didn't have no eggnog, but that might have been a libation or two before we, got into it.
You are employing all kind of tricks to get your band in the mood, including bringing your own sweet potato pie. That's funny.
Yeah. No, it's important. Because that's the smell of that mixed with the sound of Nat King Cole to create the Christmas mood when I was a kid, and it does in my house, at Christmas now with my two boys. And so, that's the way we do it. So I see what I was doing it for the band.
Yeah. Let me close where I shouldn't say where I didn't begin here, but I raised this issue earlier in this conversation, and I've said it a few times, that Christmas Wish is the first Christmas album from Gregory Porter. Let me close with a two-part. I got 2 minutes to go, and I got 2 questions. One, there are many artists who've done more than one Christmas album, so did the bug bite you to do this again somewhere down the road? There's still more music to choose from, more classics, more collaborations, more stuff that you can and will write. So might there be another one years down the road? And finally, this is inside baseball. When does an artist know when it's right in their career to do a Christmas album?
Yeah, when a bunch of people start asking, when's the Christmas album coming? When's the Christmas album coming? I wanted to do it earlier, but the time is right now.
Yeah.
Will I do another Christmas album? Absolutely. I mean, it's just, again, there's so much brilliant music written about this time, and there's a new story to be told as well, because we're in new situations, new conditions, new problems, new troubles, new joys. And I hope that I can capture that in melody and poetry and keep on going as long as the people will listen to me,
Yeah, well, brother, as long as you're singing, I'll be listening, as will all you other fans in this country and indeed around the globe. His name is Gregory Porter. The Christmas album is called Christmas Wish, available right now wherever you get your music. Gregory Porter, once again, man, I love you deeply, brother. Always grateful that you take the phone call when we invite you on, when I invite you on personally, because I enjoy this so much. I just love celebrating your music, your brilliant artistic genius. So thank you, and happy holidays to you, sir.
Happy holidays. All blessings. Thank you.
Thank you, Gregory. That's our show today. Back here tomorrow, Lord willing, to do it all over again. Until then, thanks for tuning in. And as always, keep the faith.
Window panes, candles gleaming inside, painted candy canes on the tree. Santa's on his way, and he's filled his sleigh with things for you and for me. It's that time of year when the world falls in love. Every song you hear seems to say, Merry Christmas, may your New Year's dreams come true. And this song of mine in 3/4 time wishes you and yours the same thing too.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Moore. Now, here's the latest from the Black Information Network. A red wave has washed over the state of Louisiana. Republican candidates won a series of runoff elections over the weekend for Attorney General, Secretary of State, and Treasurer. Those wins are on top of a GOP landslide in the general election put together. It means in January there will be one party in control of the executive branch, the House and Senate. New York City Mayor Eric Adams is setting up a legal defense fund in response to the corruption investigation into his 2021 campaign fund. According to an affidavit the African-American mayor signed last week, the fund will be overseen by the city's Conflict of Interest Board as the FBI looks into Adams's campaign finances, favors, and possible influence by the Turkish government. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Drought, war, and rising food prices have doubled the number of families facing malnutrition. You can help. $50 provides a food kit to feed a family for a month. Just text the word radio to 97646.
Is this the tether? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The numbers are not adding up for Chargers head coach Brandon Staley. When Chargers owner Dean Spanos does the math, expect him to make a coaching change. If not during the season, certainly when the season is over. The 4-6 Chargers are last in the AFC West. In 3 seasons with Staley, the Chargers are 23-21. They have lost 7 straight games decided by 3 points or less, including an 0-5 mark this season. They rank last in the NFL in pass defense, allowing 291 yards per game. And here's the bottom line number that is sure to get Spanos' attention. The Chargers defense has the 2nd highest payroll in the NFL. Spanos is not getting a good return on his investment with his defense or Staley. Top 5 men's college basketball teams in this week's AP poll: Kansas, Purdue, Arizona, Marquette, and UConn. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours. Now through December 20th, all of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net, and together we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.